Tonight, PDP invites Jonathan as party's fate hang on neck. The People Democratic Party has asked former President Goodluck Jonathan to contest the 2027 presidential election on its platform. In an exclusive interview, it was reported that the PDP's Deputy National Publicity Secretary, Ibrahim Abdullahi, emphasized that it would be a regrettable development if Jonathan chose another party for his presidential bid. He revealed that the PDP had been eagerly awaiting the former president's return for a second term, stressing the party's continued connection to Jonathan's political rise. Abdullahi highlighted the party's historical role in shaping Nigeria's leadership, citing several notable figures who had emerged from the party. The emergence of the posters is similar to a development before the 2023 election, when supporters purchased nomination forms for Jonathan under the APC, but the former president distanced himself from the move. I actually have a question for this one. So we know that Jonathan is good. Goodluck Jonathan is, I mean, he did well when, you know, he was on sit. But I'm also asking, don't Nigeria have fresh blood or fresh young brains who can, you know, be in this 2027 presidency, who can run this election? Don't we have fresh people, not just old people? Even if you look outside, generally, even the Americans, they have, you know, more of old people on sit. Why don't we have new young people to run these things?
Number one, politics in Nigeria, especially in the high pedestal. Okay. I'm not talking about those people doing local politics. In the high pedestal, it's a gated community.
Okay.
It's a gated community to the extent that they've closed the gate, that the new entrants cannot enter the gate.
Why?
Because that is how the politics of Nigeria, at the higher pedestal, that is how it has been established. Okay. Look, number one, Jonathan did well during his own time. I would never agree. Is there any president that have done very well since 1999? Leave that one. But for political reasons, okay. And this is a permutation. Now, if you look at from 1999 till date, presidents that we've had from the south as upper and in terms of number of years than the northern part.
Okay.
And now the current president is from the southwest. They are looking for a southerner that will use only 4 years. Because if you have a fresh politician,
yes,
even if you promise 4 years, after 4 years, he said he wants to go for second term. But by constitution, Jonathan cannot go beyond only 1 term. Okay. And he's still a member of the PDP until he says otherwise. So that calculation and permutation is still towards him, because he can only constitutionally do only 4 years if he's been elected.
Okay.
Then the calculation is also to say that the northern politicians, especially in the PDP, they are looking for a situation that they can be able to break some states out in the south. For instance, now, if you look at southwest, PDP has 4 states, has 2 states, APC has 4 states.
Yes.
You discover that south still have major blood of PDP. So if they have a southerner, what is there is that they are going to have a lot of sympathies in the south, especially in the south. Then southeast is going to be butchered. So if the 2 states of PDP can be retained and they all not rally round him, then the chances is very, very bright. And that is where the calculations they are looking for. So that if they don't throw a southerner, the southern part will be saying they didn't allow another southerner to complete his 8 years. So if it's another southerner, it's still a southerner. So, and that is the thing. It's one of the political calculations. And when politicians are calculating, although former President Goodluck Jonathan has not spoken, but one thing that is so certain, constitutionally he can contest.
Okay.
Then talking about fresh blood. Before you see fresh blood that will be able to put 200 million naira to buy presidential tickets, apart from primaries. If you cannot take 2 billion naira as an example and have a coloport, you know what they call coloport, and you can use that 5 billion naira, 2 billion naira, or 5 billion naira in cash and use it to cook beans, you cannot contest for president in Nigeria. So you know that. So the youth will now be looking at 2 billion. If I invest 2 billion in technology, did you know how much the turnover is going to be in 10 years? I will now go and put it. The only time you can have in that gated community, the only time you can have fresh blood to come in is only when those people are part of that community opens the gate. Have you lived in the estate before? That if they don't hear your call,
yes,
they will not open the gate for a visitor. The same way our politicians have a gated, I mean in the upper, I'm not talking about those riffraffs running around on the street killing themselves. I'm talking about real politicians. So it's going to be very hard because the money involved. Another thing again is that because of the power involved, and that is the thing. I'm telling you, those people that can even withstand at that particular level are those people that have stolen from Nigeria, are those people that over the years they have accumulated a lot of wealth in politics, and now they want to be using their politics to elevate, to bring in new blood. That is the only way you can have new blood. Go and check. Anybody that will be president, vice president will have become something before being president or vice president. Go and check from 1999. Are you talking about Obasanjo, who happens to be the former military president from 1976 to 1979? Do you want to talk about Atiku Abubakar, who even contest primary with MK Abiola in 1992 in SDP, who even won governorship seat for Adamawa at that particular time before being selected? Did you want to talk about even the Jonathan we are talking about? He was vice president. In fact, he was a deputy governor before becoming the vice president. You see the way. Okay, look at Buhari. We know Buhari is a serial contestant at that particular time. And former military president too, who is the vice. You go and check. Go and check the vice too. We are talking about the former commissioner, former attorney general of Lagos, before becoming his vice president. Then look at the current president, a former senator, former governor, now he's a president. Go and look at his vice, Kashim Shettima, two-time governor, former senator, and become the vice president. You see the reason why that particular community is a gated community. You can only come in when they open the gate for you.
Okay, you know, this question has been answered several times, especially during election, any of the elections. But I want to ask, why do we put such an amount for the form, for the presidential form? Why do they do that? Is it not something that can they actually, you know, bring down the price, or it's on purpose so that not everybody can get the form?
Look, in Nigerian politics, money and Nigerian politics, they are inseparable. You don't have money, don't venture into it. If you venture into it, you are going to be like a pickers. All the cakas that remain is what you are going to remnants. So we are talking about real politicians, there must be money. First of all, they make sure that if you don't have that kind of money, you run away from it. It is for the class, that class. That one is one. Then two is that they have monetized our politics to the extent that poor person cannot become anything. In fact, poor person cannot be a councillor. Go and check. Poor person cannot be a chairman. If you see a poor person being a chairman, one rich person supported him, and that is the thing, the way they've done and that is the reason why to have good leaders in this country, and especially in the hands of political journey that we find ourselves, it's going to be very difficult, because the worst of us, because the good of us will not have that kind of money.
Don't you also think that it is the same thing outside, like in America and the US?
It's different a little bit.
Okay.
We have seen situations in which nobody become president.
All right.
We have seen it in some certain countries, but our own in America, you don't need to. The only thing is that you raise funds. In Nigeria, you must have that fund.
You must have it. Okay.
There's two different things. And don't forget that the money raised for you will be subjected to scrutiny by the all other agencies. It's not the one. In fact, you are not going to be a signatory to it. It's the campaign committee that will be spending for you. Unlike our own, you've never seen a situation in which somebody wants to become president. You buy a form of 200 million. You have a lot of contestants to contest, and they should also ready to support you. Do you know how some people pay back the forms for people contesting against them? Do you know how much for primary, organizing primary? Do you know how much for campaign? So, do you know the budget of the campaign? Even INEC have to look other side because our politicians, they are money bags. They will not play by the rules. In terms of money, it is the same country. I have seen Friday to an election, a governorship election, in one particular state that I will not mention. They went to a bank, even on morning of the Saturday of that election, and they brought out cash from the bank. What did they want to use cash to do on the day of election? Another thing is that Nigerians themselves are the problem. We have the problems of ourselves.
Yeah.
When you collect money to vote for somebody, you have collected your pet right,
of course,
and you are going to suffer for it for 4 years. And that is the reason why at times you want to wonder if a politician did not perform. You have collected the money on the day of election. Don't complain for another 4 years.
Yeah.
And that is the problem.
That's a problem.